Hey guys, so my last video I posted, I'm pretty sure, was me literally just chugging on my Kemper. You can't see it right there. Um, Actually, the last video I didn't have the case, but I got I got an SKB three unit 3 space rack case with it. Um, I thought I'd kind of just talk about, you know, talk about whether it's worth getting, um, just kind of just general things on it, from a perspective of a musician who's been playing for, about a decade, but also, I'm not a professional musician. I'm not, a touring musician right now. Um, Hopefully will be within the next couple years, but just from somebody who plays just local shows here and there, maybe goes out of state a little bit, and somebody who just jams with the band, a couple times a week. So when I first got it, first day, blown away. Like that video I posted, that video was made on like the first day I got the Kemper, and I don't know, I was just blown away, and I mean I still am. It's great. Um, it's very very different from what I'm used to, in the sense of not necessarily going from an actual like tube head amp or a combo amp or anything like that, but it's different from when you're going from something like, maybe if you're going from Axe Effects, or you're going from like any of Line 6, their, you know, their amp modelers and everything. It's just it's not completely different, but it's very, it takes a while to really kind of get into everything on what it actually does, how you dial in things, where to get to, to edit certain things. I mean, it took me about a solid week and a half to actually be like pretty, I mean, decently comfortable with being able to go through things and tweak it and whatnot. Um, I don't hook this thing up to the computer, or like to like my Mac or anything, because I don't know. I feel like that's too easy. I mean, it's they use everything for the Mac for a reason, because it's easier to use. I feel like it's just better. Not that I'm lazy, but I feel like it's just better to, try to learn on the head, or on the actual processor itself, on how to use it hands on, rather than just being like, all right, let's plug it in, dial everything in, all right, we're good. I don't know. That's just me. That's just how I work. I like hands on. But I guess just in general, um, it it does, but it doesn't feel like a real amp when you're playing. I mean, you definitely get some nice low end from it, like the nice just resonance, coming through the cab. I Some people say you don't, or a sense of people are like, it doesn't feel like a real amp. Well, I completely disagree. I think it does sound and feel like a real amp. Now, like really sitting down and playing with it, you can hear just a little bit of that kind of digital sound, that you clearly hear from like the here, like from the pod. Sorry, my phone just kind of went down a little bit. From the pod, or something like Digitech's RP series pedals and stuff like that. Um, you can, it's so obvious on such lower end devices. With this, it's really minimal. Like once you kind of dial in some things, it almost kind of vanishes, but it's still just barely there. But it so like I was kind of I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really bother me that much. Um, we played a show last night at the Canal Club, and we opened up for The World Alive, and they had like three of these Kempers. Pretty sure like one of them was for the bassist, and then the other two were like the the other two were for the guitarist or something. Um, but yeah, they were using Kempers, so hey. But yeah, I mean, I honestly like I really love this thing. The only thing, I guess, it's just a matter of trying not to blow out my cab because I run this through my EVH 5150 212, and it's only a 50-watt cab, I believe. Yeah, it's like only a 50-watt cab. So it's like really sketchy, like really turning up the volume on this thing. Um, but I really, it's like the EVH cab sounds great, but I have a 412 cab, but it's a PV and it has like these Sheffield speakers in them, and they just are trash. Um, so it's kind of like, I don't know, but I haven't used the Kemper yet for a gig because I don't have the remote, the pedal yet, which I guess that's one thing that kind of sucks is that how expensive the pedal itself is, and I mean it. I mean you're getting a really good pedal, I guess, but it's just I feel like that should just be something that automatically comes with it, without you having to pay an extra $400 to $500 for it. I mean, I feel like that's a little pointless to spend that much more money with the pedal. I guess anyway for a company to make more money. Um, but I'll be getting the pedal in a couple weeks, in a week or so. Um, so I I don't know if they're all different, but mine came stock with 290 profiles, and a lot of them, probably about 70% of them, I'll never use. Um, yeah, probably more than that. Probably 80% of them I'll never use. Uh, you know, they the clean tones. Like I think any brand can get a clean tone right, but this when they capture the distorted tones from the Mesa amps, the Marshalls, the EVH amps, the PV amps, so on and so on. They're just good. They're great. I mean, some of them sound really good with like a tube screamer. Some of them sound great without the tube screamer. Like there's a couple Mesa Boogie profiles on there that sound great without the tube screamer in front of it, and like with just the gain rolled up pretty high. I mean, not like super high, maybe about like 2-3 o'clock, about there. It it sounds pretty good. Um, the effects on this thing are actually pretty good. A lot of people a lot of people say the effects are trash, or they're just like not as good as Axe effects, which in a way I can kind of agree, because Axe effects, they really do pay more attention to their actual like their effects and modulations and everything. But you get you get a pretty big selection of like effects and stuff on the Kemper. Um, you, I mean, more than half of the effects are delays. Actually, they have a lot of delays on there. Um, but yeah, what else? I mean, it's pretty light. I mean, even with the case, it's maybe it's maybe 15 pounds. if that. It's about 15, 20 pounds. Um, yeah, I just love it because it'll be like I can just plug straight into the Kemper and that's it. I don't have to plug like my guitar into like a pedal board into the amp, have the effects loops running in. I don't need all that now. Like I feel like it's just kind of like a weight lifted off, you know? It's just awesome. So it's a great way to really downsize your rig and really lighten the load up. Um, so for a player like me, this is this is a professional's rig. You know, this is for the professionals, or for the producers, all them, you know, people who are recording, people who are on tour, people who are playing in front of huge audiences. This is their rig, you know. Um, or if you're just a really big guitar fan and you've been playing guitar your whole life, but you don't really gig or anything. You know, go to occasional open mic nights at your local bar or wherever, and you know, you just have a decent amount of money to just buy a Kemper. You know, it's a great piece of gear. Definitely would recommend it to people who are like very experienced players, people who actually can navigate through stuff like this with a breeze, or who are very fast learners with a lot of technology. Um, you know, it's just great. You know, you can get the power amp version, which I have, the 600-watt version, or you can get just the other one, which doesn't have a power amp. You know, either one works great. Um, and actually, I really like the feature that it allows, you're able to turn off the power amp on this thing, which is really smart, and it's awesome because I could be in my room super late at night getting home from work and just plug in my headphones and turn you'll go over to output. You can't see it, but you'll go over to the output settings and you'll just hit power amp off, and it just saves energy. And if you still have like your speaker cable connected to the cab, it won't like make the pop sound, you know, when everything turns on. So I don't know if there's really anything else I want to say about it. Yeah. The reason I got the rack version though is because, well, I guess the lunchbox version is very unattractive, and obviously the rack mount version is very it's easier to carry around and travel with, just because it's, in a way, it's smaller and it's more compact, rather than like having like a bag strap with the Kemper and the big bag, and that's just me. But the lunchbox version has a little bit more on it because it's bigger, and it also has the LEDs for like the EQ and the gain and all that stuff. This one doesn't really. The only LEDs for like any of the adjustable knobs for like the amps is the gain knob. Um, so yeah, let me know if y'all have any questions, I guess. Um, I'll probably just end up posting another video of just going through some tones. Probably some of my favorite ones. And yeah, I'll leave it there. Alright, see you guys.